This is The Thunder Zone, a Tampa Bay 28 podcast original. Let's talk Bulls. Now, here's Kevin and Kyle.
Oh, that was more like it. That's
Yeah.
Kevin Lewis. I'm Kyle Berger. That was the kind of performance the Lightning were hoping for, seeking since they came back from the Olympic break, dominating the Seattle Kraken on Tuesday night 6-2 to finally get a win.
No more talk of maybe road legs or too much rest, or you fly across the country from corner to corner and you take on a team. Really, at that point, I don't want to say it doesn't matter who you play, but after being in a slump and then traveling across country and having maybe an extra day off, you think maybe a little groggy, a little, like I said, road legs. Not at all. You get an early lead and you hold off a little bit of a comeback. But, I mean, best case scenario. And breaking news, I don't know if we've reported on this before, but number 86, I believe his last name is pronounced Kucherov, is very good at hockey.
Yeah, Kucherov posted 5 points on Tuesday, his 7th career hat trick. He's averaging the most points per game in the NHL, gunning for a 3rd straight Art Ross trophy for the most points in the league. He now has 4 straight seasons of at least 110 points, and he was looking good on that line with Brandon Hagel and Anthony Cirelli.
And Coach John Cooper, not afraid to tinker with the lines. He tinkered with the Yanni Gourde, Zemgus Girgensons Holmberg bullying line about a week ago. And so, the Cirelli Hagel Cooch line looked pretty good. They held off a comeback. It was 3-2 at one point, and Cooper, after the game, talked about them playing on the front foot, as you would say, maybe in soccer and other sports, but playing on their toes and not backpedaling, especially in the third period of the win.
We played simple. We played the game fast. We didn't spend much time in our zone. And then we got the next one. That was a big thing. It's a 1-goal game, and it's either going to be 3-3 or 4-2. And I thought we pushed to deserve to get that goal, and then to close it out well without giving up one was I liked all around game. That's as aggressive as we've played in a while, and so when we're doing that, we can play pretty well. And I just thought we were hounding the pucks. They were dogs on a bone all night, and it really helped us.
I mean, jump out early in a game.
Yes.
They've been these slow starts the last few weeks.
There was a stretch, I think the first 5 games or 5 of the 6 first games after the Olympic break, that they surrendered the first goal of the game and they weren't playing well anyway. But dogs on a bone. I like that. You have kind of what I think after Tuesday's game, there were 16 regular season games to go. I think there's probably a little sense of urgency creeping in now, especially to get good results on the road, stacking those up for their home stretch. But Brandon Hagel, a guy acquired in a trade in 2022, turning into more and more of a star. He had 4 points last night, and really, I don't really think it matters what line he plays on or if it's a penalty kill or wherever. I mean, he continues to produce on a team that has a lot of guys who can produce.
Yeah, and this is a team in a desperate need of points. They begin this 4-game road swing. If they get the win, they'd lost 3. They had 3 wins in the last 10 games before this. And that line with they mixed up with Hagel and Cirelli on that same line. Those are the guys that get after. They're 110% no matter what. They're like your PK specialist, but you put them on the line with Kucherov, and magic just happens.
Yeah, they're grinders, and then you can also become kind of a star when, like you said, you play with a guy, a Hall of Famer who's a Art Ross trophy, and you wouldn't know looking at his face if his hair was on fire, who just 5 points in a game. I think he's the 3rd most 5-point games among active players for Kucherov.
And
so
that line with Kuch, Hagel, and Cirelli combined for 12 points.
I mean, if you play fantasy hockey,
I do play fantasy hockey.
Yeah, but you don't have them on.
I have Braden. I've got Point on my team, not those 3 guys.
The other 2 you're not dominating, but Hagel also talking about the production, what they need to keep doing, and also playing alongside a guy who's pretty much like the Magic Johnson of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
We got a lot of special players in this team, and when you get to play with some special players, it makes it easy on yourself. So we're fortunate enough to have lots of those in Tampa Bay. So it's obviously a good feeling. Yeah, by no means are we out of what we got ourselves in, but we got to learn how to win, and I think today's the right direction. We gotta enjoy the win, but at the same time, we got to move on and worry about the next game. So just kind of get back to that feeling again, and this is the right step in the right direction.
What I'll give them is consistency in the messaging. You could play pre and post game from Tuesday's game or from a game in January. And it's almost like the same that, you know, we keep doing what we're doing, you know, trust our process. We have great players. But I was on a radio show with the great Rock Riley, who's graced our airwaves. And he asked me, you know, before the win in Seattle, is it, you know, is it time to panic? Is
Panic.
Or concern? I said, there's nothing wrong with a little concern, like with a lowercase c, because you don't want, you know, bad play and funks to turn into a trend. But panic is like, I think panic's a whole different, you know, you lose 8 games in a row, maybe then you start panicking. But I think concern is okay because you want to see if things turn out right. Oh, we'll change up a couple lines, and then the concern maybe starts to fade away.
You know, they're so even keeled after a win, after a loss. They sound exactly the same. Not good for us. We love to have the entertainment value. We don't get that, but good for the locker room. And you know, that line scored 12 points. Hagel, Sorelli, Kucherov.
Yeah.
But a guy who opened the scoring was Gage Gonzalez. He's been playing pretty well these last few weeks as well. Stepping up.
Talked to him a week ago. He scored in 4 straight. I think he has 6 now, multi-point games. And a guy who 2 years ago appeared in 2 or 3 games. Last year, I think like 60. John Cooper said he's, you know, just turning into more of a veteran, and what you have to do is just keep playing games.
Kind of build off kind of every game, and obviously playing with a bunch of Hall of Famers helps a lot too. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky, and you know those guys helped me out a lot. So it's been a good season so far. Really happy with it.
What do you take from a guy like Kucherov, who has a 5-point night and his first hat trick of the season?
I mean, he's the best player in the world, so you know he continues to show it, and you know we need him a lot. He's obviously our best player, so yeah, he's been unbelievable for us, and you know we expect it every night, and he seems to bring it every night. So we're awesome to have him on our team.
And maybe he can kind of be that, not in terms of scoring output, like a Radish, Moser, a guy you didn't expect in the first third of the season, let's say, to be like, oh, we're talking about Gage Gonzalez again, which is a good thing. And I call him Gage, because the first couple times I saw the back of his jersey, I thought it was, is that Gonclaves? I'm like, do not, Gage, don't call me Gonclaves, Gonzalez. And I wish his number, or Gonzalez. I know his name. I wish he had number 12 though. That was his sweater, because 12 Gage.
Yeah. So with this win, the Lightning improved to 41, 21, 40. They're still 4 points behind the Atlantic Division leading Buffalo Sabres. They have 2 games in hand on Buffalo and 2 points ahead of third place Montreal. So they got these games in hand, but they won't mean anything unless you do something about it.
So I'm excited for this Eastern Conference. I know on our last show we had that, or last week we had John Cooper talking about somebody wrote in an article that the East was wide open or weak or something, and he was like, what are you talking about? And I wish I could hear in his brain what he really wanted to say. But I think it's going to be fun. Like I said, 16 games after the Seattle game to go in the regular season. That push to the playoffs is going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, these standings are tight. I'm looking at them now. I mean, the Bolts have 86 points, and the second wild card team, which is Boston and Detroit, are tied with 82. So you're only 4 points ahead of those last 2 wild card teams. And then Columbus has 81 points. They're 1 point out. So it's just super tight. You go on if you lose a couple of games here, you could be looking on the outside.
Yeah, I know. So many teams digging, from the bottom to get up there. And if you take a couple of games off, that's why this West Coast and West Canada road trip is going to be so big. I think, at this time next week, we're going to know a lot. And I think it's going to be good news because it's grueling every time they have to come, go and then come back from that trip. We'll see how many points they can pick up. But we are just getting started.
We have much more on the Thunder Zone podcast.
Yeah, we're doing DIY stuff. We're getting Tim the Toolman Taylor with Yanni Gourde. Fan Zone package that you are going to absolutely love with Sean Daly. A look ahead, many more things. That's what the kids are doing, right? They do that.
They do this.
It's a vibe. I don't know what that. He's much more in touch with.
In Japan does this. One with the Japan last year.
He did.
This is like the thing.
The cultured Kyle Berger. Yeah, that's the thing. This
Andrew knows about it. No, it looks like a heart.
A
heart.
We'll investigate and be back after this on the Tampa Bay 28 Thunder Zone.
Welcome back to the Tampa Bay 28 Thunder Zone.
Welcome back to the Thunder Zone. And Kevin, we found out last night that Yanni Gourde, he likes to work with his hands, like some little.
Oh yeah, no, listen,
too.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be on the business end of those.
Yeah, but he also can.
Yeah, he can also actually work
with his hands.
Yeah, and a guy who you probably expect if you made a list of people like who do you know could build like a bunk bed, it'd be like Yanni Gourde could probably do that. But he is a big DIY guy. Tim the Toolman Taylor, like I said, Home Improvement. I'm old. I remember that show, watching it. No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
of course.
I'm not that much older.
The guy behind the fence.
Oh yeah, Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes, but Yanni, after his career in hockey, will have a long career. And I'm actually in the In the market for bedroom furniture. I'm doing a little remodel myself, and Yanni, I'll hit you up. But we'll see what he did at his house when the influence from his father and his uncles in Yanni Gourde's little DIY adventure.
When my dad built our cottage with my uncles, and I enjoyed watching them and enjoyed like trying to be part of it. And eventually I worked at my uncle's cabinetry shop, and I always enjoyed it. I always loved it, and it's a lot of fun working with wood and just being able to give it second life or using it in different ways. And yeah, I always enjoyed doing that. They were asking for bunk beds, and then Marie liked the idea that was their room and they play and they do whatever. So I got pressured by the girls for sure on that one. So when I did all my notes and my plan for the bunk bed, I drew everything on a piece of paper, sent it to my brother. I'm like, hey, just make sure that I'm not missing anything and it's gonna be solid. And he's like, he approved, and he's like, yeah, it should be good and it should look fine and should be sturdy. The hardest thing was to assemble was this railing. It's a hand railing I grabbed at Lowe's, and I put them all on the table, and I drilled, I think it's 1/2 inch hole, but not too deep, so I could put those dowel in. Then you put all of them in, you do the same thing with the top, but one goes in, the other one pushed the whole railing up, so it was really hard to assemble and put together. I don't really like seeing the plywood behind. So by adding a trim, you're not gonna see it. So it's just gonna look a little better. But see, like now that I've put these pieces in to fill in those, I don't love it. So we'll have to adjust something along the way here. But if you're gonna do something, might as well do it right, and we'll make some adjustment. But we're gonna put this piece and the other piece up, and then I'll make some cuts for the other one. I would say the whole project probably 15 to 20 hours, including the painting part. The first layer of paint. Painting is my nightmare. I dislike it so much. So that's why it took extra time, and my wife Marie helped out, and everybody helped out to get this project finalized. And the girls, how excited they were. Yeah, that was definitely the highlight of that project. It was a lot of time though, much more than I expected, but it was definitely a very fun project. So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the next trim up, and then put the other two blocks here just to the perfect measurement, and then we should be good to go. The project's gonna be over, so it was a lot of fun.
Seriously, bed frame, 4-shelf dresser, 3-shelf bookcase. I'm in the market for bedroom furniture, doing a little mini remodel. I'll hit you up. I'm not even that particular. You don't have to do all that sanding and going to Lowe's, and I'll pay moderately well.
So I guess that's not in his contract that he can't use a saw.
Yeah, saw, power tools. That's a good point.
It's like some
Just
guys
keep
have,
your
you
hands
can't
up, right.
You can't ride motorcycles.
Right.
You can't play basketball.
Yeah,
I guess he's okay to use a saw.
Build bunk beds. Yeah, just build cupboards. Yeah, no. If any player on the team was going to be the guy who gets his hands dirty. The painting, though, he said he didn't like the painting, but who really likes? Yeah, do the drop cloth and all that.
He teaches daughters to do that.
Teaches daughters to do it. Yeah. So next time something breaks or whatever, he's just like, he'll probably have to do the drill stuff. But, yeah, they seem very young. But much more show to come, as we have, like we said, a fan piece with Sean Daly that you're going to absolutely love. You're going to heart it. Heart emoji. Smile, hard eyes, all of them. Text them all. That's Kyle Berger. I'm Kevin Lewis. You are watching the Tampa Bay 28 Thunder Zone.
Welcome back to the Tampa Bay 28 Thunder Zone.
Slap shot! I love it. Hey, Bolts Nation, this is Sean Daly on Thunder Alley, and I have somebody I want you to meet. He's the best Lightning fan I've ever known. Meet Brody! Yeah, I love it. Woo! Brody Odom, 6 years old, and loves his Tampa Bay Lightning.
I got money.
Brody's mom, Ashley, loves the Lightning too, especially for the inclusion they've shown her son.
Hello, Brody. This is Yanni Gourde from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Hey, Brody. This is Ryan McDonough from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Just those special touches that they do. His very first game was for their neurodivergent month celebration. He got to meet Luke Glendening after that game.
But the Brody love has spread to national anthem singer Sonia Bryson Kirksey, to Thunderbug himself. The team has embraced Brody, even giving this young man with Down syndrome rides on Zambonis big and small.
We are Brody and we're goodbye.
Mom and son both wear number 21. Sure, they love Braden Point, but there's deeper meaning too.
So 21 is significant to us because of trisomy 21, which is Down syndrome. At one game, we bumped into Braden, and he saw his jersey and was like, hey, I like your number. He's like, can I sign your jersey? So then he signed his jersey.
Brody's passion for the Lightning is even inspiring him onto the ice. He's now taking part in the Lightning's youth hockey clinics.
He absolutely loves being out there on the ice and learning.
Did we just become best friends? Yeah, we did. We're best friends now. You're such a nice guy. He's so incredibly charming. You are a charmer. You got a cool haircut. You got a great smile. You are a charmer, yeah. Reporting on Thunder Alley, I am Sean Daly for Tampa Bay 28.
Okay, we found first of all, he is a way better ice skater than I will ever be.
That's what I was going to bring up.
And we found it. We found a better head of hair
than
Kyle Berger. Yes, Brody by a nose. A better head. I mean, and he's got time to cultivate that. And I mean, listen, no one's saying that you have bad head of hair. I mean,
the bro dog.
I am on the Darren Radish hair beat. But he's a slick kid. He's a charmer too, man. Charmer and a hockey player.
Cool that all of the Lightning players are reaching out to him. And also Ryan Pepio, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Ray's pitcher. He appears in Ryan Pepio's Instagram pictures too. When Ryan goes to the games, he's got shots of him holding Brody.
Brody is a man about Tampa Bay, I feel like, Tampa Bay sports. And the organization, too. I did a story with them when they showcased the neurodivergent room there, the sensory room they have at I almost called it the former name, Benchmark International Arena. So, yeah, more inclusion. Lightning do all kinds of stuff, and the players, reach out more, than any really that I've seen in terms of professional teams, on a consistent basis, which is so super cool and so super cool for that family as well.
And when we come back, the clock is ticking down on this season. We're going to check out the upcoming schedule on the road ahead for the Tampa Bay Lightning out on the West Coast. We'll be right back on the Thunder Zone.
Welcome back to the Tampa Bay 28 Thunder Zone.
Thank you for staying with us, Kyle Berger, Kevin Lewis on the Double Deuce, the Roadhouse edition of the Tampa Bay 28 Thunder Zone. I know. I mean, one of the most iconic bars and dance clubs in Midwestern history. And also Oliver Bjorkstrand's number. Real quick milestone shout out. In the win over Seattle, Jake Gensel became the fastest player in Lightning franchise history to reach 150 career points, passing Brian Bradley, Lightning Hall of Famer.
Did not know that. Also in that game, the Lightning are now 8-0-1 all time against the Seattle Kraken.
Oh, very nice.
No regulation losses. They have one more game against the Kraken. It'll be at home.
Okay.
I believe it's March 26th. The Kraken will come here. So that just check that one off as a win because the Bolts don't seem to ever
check
lose.
that one off as a win. Let's go, Flex.
Lose against the Seattle Kraken.
And I ripped this one straight off of the broadcast. Also, two things. 29-1 now when they're leading after two periods, the Lightning. And I think it was either Coburn or Ryan Malone who on the broadcast when Gage Gonzalez scored against the Kraken, they said he has buttery hands. They said, look at the soft hands because, it's not over aggressive. And I haven't used that adjective before, but I'm going to have to steal that buttery hands. But the Kraken win, like head coach John Cooper said, they were playing on their toes, not on their heels. They defended well. They defended in the third period when they
Dogs
had to.
on a bone.
Dogs on a bone.
And dogs.
Most of kids YouTube that one. Most of the things they were doing when they were going 19-1-1 before the Olympic break.
Yeah, but let's look at the schedule. We continue this Western road trip. Western Canada we go to now. So on Thursday night, 10 p.m., another late night puck drop. The Vancouver Canucks, that's on the spot.
Yes. Worst home team, worst home record in the league, the Canucks. So you think that the Lightning should probably get a dub there.
Well, then on Saturday, we got a tough one.
Ooh. But Leon Draisaitl now
out for
on
the regular season. Leon Draisaitl, yes.
But still, Connor McDavid, I heard, is still healthy and still good at hockey.
Still good. That's a 10 o'clock puck drop. Another late one, so you got to stay up late on Saturday night. And then Sunday, 8 o'clock, the Calgary Flames.
Alberta. Sorry. I can say that because I have a friend who lives in Alberta. Those are 3 big games. And when we come back next week, they will have those 3 plus a home game against Minnesota under their belt. So those 4 games, I think are going to tell us a lot about, where the team is heading into that home stretch. I don't think there's going to be a collapse, but I think just the way they play, especially, you're on a long road trip, you're away from home, you're trying to get back to the top of the Atlantic Division, which you lost that lead to Buffalo. I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. I'm kind of Captain Obvious there, but I think these are going to be huge 4 games.
Yes, there's a lot of good TV watching here this weekend. You got March Madness during the day.
Full night!
And at 10 o'clock, flip over to the spot and watch some Tampa Bay Lightning hockey on Thursday and Saturday. Yeah, you got USF 1:30. You got Florida playing late. But, listen, the Gators, I'm not going to try to jinx them, but I think they'll win their first round game by many points. And like you said, flip over the late West Coast start for the Tampa Bay Lightning will do you well. That's Kyle Berger. I'm Kevin Lewis. Have a safe rest of your Wednesday, Thursday, your weekend, your hockey weekend, your basketball weekend, your Valspar weekend, whatever you're doing. And we'll see you back here next week on Tampa Bay 28 Thunder Zone.